Hello everyone, my name is Gracie, and welcome to a new game glance at a fantastic game called Die for the Lich. Now it's called that because it is a dice using game. It has really cool art. It has really good bones, no pun intended. It just needs more content. That's really the main issue I have. There's also, I can predict people having a lot of trouble with the amount of RNG in the game because we're doing things like rolling D4s, 6, 8, 10, 12, and even 20s. So sometimes, you roll a D8 and you roll a 1 when you needed a higher number, and that feels bad, but there's lots of mitigating ways to deal with the RNG. It is a game about collecting dice into your dice bag, and you put them on your tray, and then you have various equipment like swords and shields and that kind of stuff, and then you roll dice, and the number rolled on the die adds to the value you're going to be using on that piece of equipment, with some caveats. Number one, the equipment do something special if they hit their critical value. And number two, the dice are not just regular dice. Now, there's plenty of regular dice, but you're also going to be rolling special dice that do things like subtract numbers rather than add, or they make a poker chip when you roll it based on what the roll is, or there are dice that only roll odd numbers, for instance. There's these interesting little additions. So you can see if I go to collection, go to dice, look at all these cool different kinds of dice, and you can unlock them as you do stuff. So here I've got to roll a bunch more lucky dice in order to unlock more of these. So there's all these different kinds of dice that show up in your games. You'll start with the basic ones. And really all I can imagine needing for this game is more content. There's also like weapons. You can see there's not very many yet, and I'm guessing that's just a symptom of it being a fairly early game. I would love to see more equipment options, but it obviously every run is very different. There's very cool stuff in here. This iron sword was really quite useful in my one of my runs I did. Then there's these trinkets. These are also things that go into your bag and have different effects, like the poker chips I told you about, coins, clovers, etc. And I'll show you how that all works. And then there are abilities. So there are these cards. They're like tarot cards, and they give you cool powers that let you do stuff like heal or reroll ones, things like that. And so again, we just need more of it is all I really want, just more stuff. The game is not out yet. Let me see when it comes out in early access. According to Steam, it is coming out on July 22nd, so not too long. I intend to have this video out the day after I record it, basically. So let's head on into play so I can show off how the game actually works. I will move my camera once I figure out where I need to be. So play campaign. I have two characters unlocked. I have the Undertaker, who starts with a shovel and a coffin shield, 30 health. You have 5d4, 3d6, 1d8, and a clover in your bag. And then I also have Dante. Now, Dante has less health. He has a dagger, a cross dagger, and an old Bible. He has d4s, d6s, a d8, and bones that start in his thing. And he also starts with a power called Undead Burden. So this character is like your normal guy. This guy has a special power. We won't go into what that does yet because I'm just going to play the Undertaker because it's the simple one. This guy was really fun to play, but I noticed running out of dice in my tray frequently. This guy, I noticed that my upper limit of damage and survivability was based upon my gear rather than the dice. So, just little things I've been trying to notice as I play, but I can't wait to show you guys how this works. So let's hit play. It's a bit of a tutorial series. Now this screen I love. It shows your character, it shows your equipment, it shows your bag of, your deck I guess, but it's a bag of dice. And then this is your standard rogue-like or roguelite sort of progression map. But look at the art. It's so fantastic. It's like blood and religion and smoke and like death. It's just really cool. Also, I have no clue what the story is about. My friends and I determined that it's just a guy walking through the cemetery putting all the skeletons back into their graves because they're trying to be all fighty. I don't know what the real story is, but that one's kind of funny to me. So let me show you how this works. So we have a shovel. So you can see it has a 6, and then it says it's an offensive, and it has a critical. You can roll an extra d4 from your tray. So what that means is we want to roll dice and get the number to a 6. If we go over 6, we bust, and we have to clear everything out and start again. And if we roll under, we can still use it, but we don't get the critical bonus. So finding ways to mitigate the randomness of the dice is very important. At the very beginning, you're going to feel that randomness because I'm relying a lot on just rolling the right numbers. But as you go and you start getting special dice that let you re-roll things or subtract or add a flat amount like this trinket here, those are very, very important, and you'll see that you quickly become more of a master of the fate that you're going to be receiving from the dice, and it be more about which dice to spend and when, which powers to spend, which trinkets to spend. And so we also have a common coffin shield. It has a value of 4, and if you get critical, you add 2 to the counter, which means if we reach a 4, it automatically bumps up to 6 defense. So the coffin shield provides block or guard or armor or whatever you want to call it. It's in a lot of these kind of roguelike games. It's a blue value with a little shield that blocks incoming damage. The enemies, as usual, show you what they're going to be doing. They're going to be buffing, debuffing, attacking you, etc. And then you prepare for that. You might have a big defense turn, spend your dice trying to get the best defense, and then you don't have enough to attack. That happens sometimes. Or they're going to spend a turn debuffing you. You can't block it. Just load it all up in the shovel and smack them. Really, really cool. Opens up a lot of interesting possibilities. Do you start with the coffin shield or do you start with the offense? Depending on what dice you have. So let's get going. So typical node system, we'll start here. We get a rare chest to begin. I love that you dig up the chests for every time you find one. Oh, is this... something's happening. Okay. This is interesting. These are stronger than usual. Broken crystal ball. Predict a random die's roll inside your tray. Interesting. Or create a ghost die of the same type. Now, I've never used this crystal ball, so we'll take that. So that's what we get out of the chest. Now, it goes into our bag, and we can draw it during our turns. So let's go do a old rusty chest. Let's go do a fight. Let's actually do a few fights, and then maybe we'll do an elite. So here's a battle. These ones should be pretty easy. So this is a Vitala skeleton. I think this is like a region in the game because there's also like a Vitala priest skeleton guy. So you can see this guy's going to attack me for 5. He also has a buff called Bones. Gain a bone in the tray on hurt. So whenever I hit this guy, I get a bone in this tray. And a bone is a trinket that subtracts 1 from the counter. Now that's not bad, because let's say I roll a d6 on the coffin shield and I get a 5, I can now use a bone to lower it to a 4, and now it's a critical. So there's a lot of manipulation with the values. Where am I going to put my character? I could put my face here and be this guy. How's that look? Yeah, I'm the Undertaker now. So what we want to do is we do want to get the critical block because he's going to hit us for 5. And healing in this game is real dangerous. So every turn, you're going to draw dice out of your draw bag, or I'm sorry, objects, because some of them are trinkets. And they get put in this tray. It shows their maximum values just for reference. So these are d6s, 4s, and 8s. And then if I click one of these, it's going to roll it into the board and add its value here. So for instance, we're going to start with, so this is going to be tough because we have to basically get lucky. So I'll start with a d6. So we got a 4. Now I have a 50-50 of this providing me with enough. So let's go ahead and roll it because I don't really have a lot of other choices here. So I got 3. I'm likely to bust if I go anymore, so I'm just going to click myself, apply that 3, and I'll just be taking 2 health damage. Now it's time to load up the shovel. So I've used the coffin shield, so I can't use it again this turn. So let's put the shield on. So I want to get to a 6. So let's start with the d6 and just hope we get lucky here. Okay, we got a 2. So this has a fairly good chance of helping us out here. So we busted. So that means I can't use this on him because I went over. If I click it, I can shake those dice loose and they go back into the discard tray, and I can try again. But now I only have this. If I were to end turn, this would be here next turn for me to use on something else. In this case, I don't see a reason to save it, so I'm just going to try to get a number 6 or less. I got a 5. pretty close. So we click him, smack him with the shovel. I get a bone. This will be useful. And then I end turn. So he's going to smack me. Really cool art. I really do like it. It's like chunky, grim art. So he's going to hit for 5 again. So let's load up the shield, get a die. So we got a 3. Let's use this. Okay, interesting. So this crystal ball has told us that this die is going to roll a 4. So that's interesting. Let's use this one because there's a 50% chance that I can modify it to be a winning number here. So let's roll this. So, okay, so I have 5 out of 4, but all is not lost. I could click this to shake loose all this stuff back into the discard, or I could click this bone, subtract 1 from the counter. So because it went down to 4, which is the critical value, it added 2, right? So now we're at 6 block. So I click myself, I have 6 block, and he's not going to be able to hurt me. Now in this case, I could use this die, but there's no way for me to get a critical. It's impossible because this will be a 4, this will add 3, that's 7. So I'm just going to end turn. These things will stay here. The only thing I lose is time, but the objects in here will stay unless something happens. I think this will stay predicted, but I haven't played with those, so it did. Okay, so now he's starting to hit for more and more damage. That'll happen. There's basically a soft timer on every battle. The enemies will slowly ramp up their damage, and this is fairly common for these kinds of games. So let's load up the shield, and let's pop in, well, let's do this first. So that's going to be a 2, so that's interesting. So let's roll the d6. So we got 4. We know this is going to roll a 2. So crit. Now we can, this guy's critical power is you can roll a d4 from your tray. So now that critical has been hit, we can roll another d4 from the tray and add the value to make the damage higher. So, or up to 9. I can also do something like spend this trinket here to add 3. And I'm going to do that because I need to kill this guy next turn because his damage is getting too high. So now this one, we know it's going to roll a 4 because of that prediction, which is going to turn it into a crit. The bones will lower it, so we're not going to do that. So we'll put that defense on, and we will be taking 1 damage. Oh, I should be upfront about this. I got this game from the developer through a site for free. I'm not being paid to show this game off or anything. I genuinely am liking what I'm seeing, so that's why I'm playing the game. I think I don't know if I have just a demo key or a full copy of the game. It doesn't really matter. I'm having a great time playing this version. I just want more stuff. That's what I want. So let's kill him. We don't need to block if he's dead. Oh, we rolled a crit, so I can roll a d4 if I want. I don't really need to. These go away after battle, so I don't have to worry about these bones clogging up my inventory. And then we smack him. We got more bones, but they disappear. All right, and then my reward is I get to dig up a chest. So I can take a coin. Now, coins are the currency, and you use these to buy, you can buy equipment, and you can buy dice or trinkets. Or I can take a new die, spike die. Take 1 damage on reroll, but can always reroll. Let's give it a try. Let's give it a try. So I can reroll it as much as I want, but I damage myself in the process, which is really interesting. God, I love the map. So cool. All right, let's do another fight. So now these, oh no, these are a different wolf. There's one that gets stronger as you roll certain types of dice. We got a 2. Do we go? No, we don't need to buff it at all. We're just going to go with it. Now for the shovel, let's try the spike die. Just get lucky. 10 damage. 1 turn. So dig up a chest. And we have an odd die. This will always roll odd numbers or a coin. Let's take a coin. Coin is an actual trinket. It goes in the bag, which I think is fascinating. So you actually will draw this coin, and it's at a 1. So it's like this clover that adds 3. This one just adds 1. So it's interesting because on the one hand, it kind of clogs up your deck, but on the other hand, it is a useful tool for finagling those numbers to be exactly what you want. Let's go one more regular battle. We'll think about doing the elite. The elites are hard. They are definitely more difficult. Oh, these things, these elk things. Black stag. So these guys, whenever I roll a d4, they gain 1 attack power for this turn. So they're challenging because, like, if I get out this shield and I'm gonna roll, if I roll a 1, he's gonna go up to 2. No matter what I roll, he's gonna go up to 2. So I have to try to outpace his damage. But the other problem is, if I'm trying to do the shovel, I might end up rolling d4s. And the critical is roll an extra d4 from your tray, which does what? Increase this guy's attack. So these guys are a pain in the butt. Sometimes the boss has like 2 of these guys with him. Huge pain in the butt. So we rolled a 1, as I feared. We rolled another 1. So I'll just use the coin and just give myself 3 blows. So that was a huge waste of time. Let's just try to get lucky. A 2. I'm just gonna hit him. Let's save this for next turn. So it goes back down to 1 damage. I think eventually he'll increase it again. So this is gonna be a 1. That's not helpful. A 2. So let's use it. We'll try the D8 because we don't have any other. Oh my god, a 1. Let's go for this one. If I add this, it will be rolled, which will add to his damage, but then I'll get a crit. But my crit doesn't really do, so I'd be adding 1 damage to take 1 damage, so that's not worth it. So just hit him with the 5. So we should be able to kill him this turn. I would think. Because we have this clover, if we can hit 6, we can just kill him. Okay, a failed roll. I have to shake it loose. There's nothing I can do. All right, let's try that again. 5. This is a 1. Now it's a critical, so I can add a d4, and I can also add you can add as many trinkets as you want once you crit. So now I have 10. Kill him off, so I don't have to block. All right, easy peasy. So another coin or a bone dice creates bones equal to the result, which can be useful if you go way over. Let's take a bone die. And then we can either go to an old rusty chest, which doesn't sound particularly interesting, or we can go to an elite. Let's see if I can beat the elite. Oh, this isn't too bad. Never mind, they have blood moon, so this heals them every turn. So we have to finish one of them off because they're gonna keep getting stronger. Now, this is unfortunate. This is gonna be a 1. So I'm gonna roll this and then add the clover because it's gonna be a 3. So that becomes 4, 6, so I'm blocked. Get this puppy out, let's get some bones. Oh my god, how lucky is that? All right, let's smack this doggo. Get out of here. So I've got a bunch of bones clogging up my tray, but I can use them if I go over to lower it back down to the crit value. These are cool because this will let me roll something like too high, and then if I go over, I can just subtract. So let's go with the D. Well, we've got a lot of D4s. I'm gonna start with this because if we can get a crit, I could potentially roll a 3 and then kill this guy off. So let's do a 6. So if I just spend 3 bones, it goes down to a crit. Now I'm allowed to actually attack because I was over before, so I couldn't use it. Now that I've hit the crit counter, I can actually add to it again. It's a little funny. Ah, shit, 8. That's the worst. That's the worst. If I roll this and don't hit 4, then this is going to be way too much. So let's go with this and hope that it's like 6 or less. Okay. Now I think we're good. You gave me a 3. I think I gotta take that. I really wish I had been able to kill this black shuck. I don't know what that means. This is pretty bad. Okay, that's at least lethal on the wolf. And we need to get some freaking defense here. 3, let's do this. So we go to 6. I'm gonna spend... No, I'm not gonna spend a bone. I'll leave them. I can use them. I was thinking about spending them just to get them out of there. So that's going to be a 2. Is it worth even attacking? If I roll a 3 or a 4, I can get to the 6. Okay, I did. Smack. Why did I draw that? Oh, because if when I hit her, I draw from a bag 3 times. That's useful. She's healing, though. I gotta hurry up. Her damage is going up. Oh shit, we got a crit right off the bat. I can't draw. Alright. I can't get rid of these bones now. Uh-oh. I haven't had this problem before. I'm overboned. Oh shit. Okay. Well, I can't not hit the right value with all these bones. Kind of insane. It's not enough to kill, though. Let's do this. Damn it. Okay, there we go. I can get rid of 1 bone. This is interesting. All right. Come on, we gotta win. That's a 4. So we can just do that and then crit, but I don't have enough to kill. Okay, not too bad. I've taken a third of my life. All right, we have to get her down this turn. There we go. Crit. Add the coin. Smack her. Whew. Okay, we did take a lot of damage, but we did beat the elite fight. So now we get an ability. Gain 1 armor on rolling 1s with a die. Or star buttons. Draw an extra object from your bag at the start of your turn. I think I've done... This one's rare. I don't think I've used this one, so I'll give that a shot. And then we get a chest. Oh, a fingy. Baba Yaga's finger. Reroll an object from the board. Okay. Cons ring. Trigger critical state if not in failed state. This doesn't work exactly how I thought it would. I thought that would mean if I was, like, let's say I had 4 out of 6, I could hit this and it would make it 6, so it was a crit. It just means you're now in the critical state. So the 4 would still be the number you have, but then you get the critical bonus. It's kind of strange. So I've used it before. It's useful, but I'm going to try this finger out. Reroll an object from the board. That's interesting. Just Karen, like from Myth. He looks, I don't know why he's ripped and insane, but I only have $1, which sucks. Could buy the fish hook. Could also buy a ghost die. Create ghost dice of the same type and place it in your tray. Ghost dice evaporate if it moves into your... Okay. And there's another broken crystal ball. That's interesting. I kind of like that because you get to like make informed decisions with your dice you're rolling. Dice fusion. Let me look at my inventory. I don't have anything I need to do at the dice fusion. I'd love to show you that, but I don't need to go there because the stuff... Long story short, you can mix a die with a power on a different die to make it a new value, but I like that these are 10s, so I'm not gonna change them. I could go for health. but then I would have to go to the dice fusion, which I don't want. So I might take these 2 chests and avoid this elite battle because I'm poor and weak. Let's go to the old chest. Okay, a copper die. Can't roll higher than the highest rolled value on the board. These are interesting. Another chest. Okay, we got a rusty spear, critical, -5 to the counter. So that's interesting. So if you hit 11, it goes down to 6. So that's really strange. So you want to get like up to like 10, but don't go over. Which is why this is common, is because the power level it has with and the power it comes with are at odds. So you can put this here. You always have an extra slot, or at least these 2 characters do. So I can actually load up any of these during a fight, which is really interesting. It's this thing. Yeah, draw extra object, which is great because I have an extra weapon. So let's load up the shield. Okay, that's a 1. That's useless. Oh my god. How? So annoying. So this is... So that's a 3. So this can't roll higher than a 3. Okay, we only got a 1. Oh my god. Dice do not like me this turn. Let's see if we can kill this wolf off. We might be able to do it with these trinkets. This is a 4. And then that'll let us roll, because it's critical, we can roll an extra d4 from the tray. Let's use this one, because we don't need the 3, we just need the 7. At 1 point total. Okay, so our shield is ready. This is exactly what we need, so let's just use that, and we'll save the d6. Just get 14 health. Oh, that's a 6. I'm not allowed to put that away yet? Interesting. I thought you could swap equipment once you picked one up, so I'm not allowed to swap this. I have to use this now that it's up. That's extremely useless. Reroll an object from the board. Okay, failed roll. Can't do anything about it. Let's get this out. Let's roll this d8. Actually, if we roll this, get too high of a number, we just get a bunch of bones. And then we can just fix it. Jesus. Critical. Okay, there we go. Very bizarre. Bizarre item. He's going to cast a buff. Well, let's try not to let him do that. How's that sound? So this is going to be a 5. Oh, perfect. Crit. So we can add a d4. We can add this. And we shovel down the werewolf dog thing. D6 that subtracts from your counter. Do you have... Do I want that? I think I'd rather take the coin. Cursed offering. This is interesting. So this angel statue will give me this really cool piece of gear, but it's going to have a curse on it after I take it. Critical. Can roll 2 d4s from your tray. Heal 3 health when this weapon kills an enemy. Or a spike shield. And I've had the spike shield before. I think I use it to replace the coffin shield. But then I would just be left with 2 crappy weapons. I think I'm going to replace the spear. And now I have a curse. So what does the curse do in this case? Debt curse times 8. Okay, so start the counter at -4. So when I equip this item during combat, it's instead of being 0 out of 9, it's going to be negative 4 out of 9. So essentially, until I've rolled 4 points on dice, it's not even at 0. And so I can't even, like, it won't do anything until I've got rolled 5 points. We probably want to do some fights then to work the debt curse off of this, like easy fights before the boss. Otherwise, this will be cursed when we get to the boss, and that'll make things much harder. Ooh, we've got zombies. 2 zombies. So we need a 4 here. So this is... Why is this... Why do I already know? What is this? That's interesting. Why do I know what this is? Did this get predicted in a previous fight and it stayed? That's weird. Oh, here we go. 4. Perfect. So that... I can make it 7 with the coin, which is how much they're hitting. And then let's use this, because we need to work off this thing's debt. Ooh. Okay, that's pretty good. So we can use it as is. It'll still do damage. If you try to hit with a weapon with 0 or less on it, it won't take a point of the curse off. It says resolve when using the weapon successfully. So if you don't successfully use the weapon, it doesn't take the curse off. I've tried. So let's hit this one. It's got 1 less health total, so it'll be a little faster to take that one out. And I can't use my shovel. Did it get a lot quieter? Yes, I accidentally turned my volume way down. Sorry. I'm an idiot. Alright, D4. We got a 3. Wait, why am I even using this? He's casting debuffs. I don't need to do this. Alright. Bones. D8. Oh, that sucks. Let's use this and re-roll this D8. That's way better. So 3. Oh, here we go. 3. Critical. And critical lets you roll extra D4s from the tray. Okay, we're working off the debt. We've still got 6 stacks of the debt, which is not good. I'm going to save this D6. What are you doing to me? You've been poisoned. Rotten chance. Let me move my face here. 2 stacks left. Take 1 damage if a die rolls higher than 4. Don't know about that. Well, at least I heal a few health when I kill someone with this weapon. So that's going to be a 1. Ow. Oh, here we go. Bone. Now it's a crit. I can add this to it. That's a lot of damage. I wasted a lot of damage because I don't need... I'm just going to hit this guy. It doesn't matter. Okay. We got a problem here. This die can't roll higher than the value than this one. So I'm going to have 2 1s, essentially. There's nothing I can do about it. Start with defense. Let's do the 6, because we could roll... Yeah, there we go. 2 bones. Okay, so now we're... And we can add 1, so we're at 7 defense. Get the scythe out. Roll some bones. Ooh, 9. Beautiful. Hey, a crit. Nice. Okay, let's throw that on there, and then let's smack him. How much more? 4 more instances. I don't know if I'm allowed to... Oh, I am. I can just get rid of some of these. Just to get rid of the bones. That's useful. Debuff again. Okay, let's try to kill him. This is going to be a 10. How does that work, though? Because there's nothing on the board. I don't know. See, but how... Okay, let's re-roll something on the board. Let's roll this one. Oh, it damages me. Oh no, it's even higher. I can't, I can't hit him with that. Ah, shit. That was so bad. We could add 3 to it, and I could at least get a bit of the curse off. We're down to 3. Oh man. Ah, this game's so fun. I can't believe how much fun I'm having with this game with so, like, not that much content available. Like, there's just this one realm, by the way. After you finish this, that's it. Okay, D6. Come on, don't fail me now. That was not great. Oh my god. Alright, take 2 damage. God. Oh, I'm gonna get hit. Okay. Okay, we gotta kill him this turn. That's gonna be a 1. That's a 7. Took a damage. Hey, the crit. Take that. Oh, I got some health back. So I think we got 1 stack of curse left. That's perfect. Coins? Or another one of these gambler... Oh, gambler's die. This is a different one. That's interesting. Alright, one more battle. I know we're way over my usual time for episodes, but I think I'm just going to finish up this run in just this one episode. So, we've got... he's going to cast a debuff on me. Oops, sorry about that. Just getting messages here. Okay, so let's get the scythe up. This is an interesting one. So whenever you roll a number and it successfully adds to the counter, you get a red chip, which adds its value to the counter. Whenever you roll a number and it breaks it, you get a black chip, which then subtracts. So the black chips aren't super useful, but they can be. The red chips are super useful. This is a flat 6 increase, which is incredible. In fact, if we can get a 1... Oh, here we go. So we get a 1, add a 6. Now we're crit. We can do this. I'm not going to add that. Let's smack him. And our scythe is free. We're free of the curse. Let's see what happens if you roll this. Oh, I failed. Okay. I'm going to save those things in there and just leave. Okay. So what he's going to do now... At the end of your turn, take 3 damage for each bone in your tray. So this guy's going to make my bones explode. So I need to get rid of these bones. And if I get that bone die, I got to be very careful maybe not to even use it at all. 4. Perfect. Okay, so we are going to get rid of this bone. I need... to add 1 here, unfortunately. I can add 2 with this thing. So I think what we'll do is we'll use this, lower it by 1, and then we'll just smack him. I got a bone for hitting him. Damn it. We'll go ahead and use that. Wait, I'm gonna get another bone for hitting him. Wait a minute. Hey, hang on a second. I'm in a I'm in an impossible loop here. All right, let's try to scythe kill him this turn. This might make it so I can just win. 3. Okay, but some of you have to roll reasonable. So it's a critical at 9. I can add some stuff. There we go. Okay, time for the boss. After we heal. At the end of battle, heal 1. That's a little too late for that. You can re-roll 1s on the board. Yep. Cool. Coin or an odd die? Probably take the odd die. I haven't really played with those. So here's the interesting thing. healing is very strange in this game because you can't heal without sacrificing a die. And the amount you heal is equal to the maximum value of that die. So my only D8 I could give it up to get 8 health, but then I have no D8s left. And it's pretty brutal. Like, I was hoping I'd be able to use one of these to heal, but it looks like it only gives you basic dice, or I just got unlucky and only basic dice showed up. Oh, God. I think I'm going to give up a D4, even though it's only 4 health. Better than nothing. That pool filled with blood, that's kind of strange. Okay. Final... Oh, look at experience down here. Who knows that before? Okay, so the boss battle. As far as I can tell, it's the same guy. Sometimes he has 2 stags, sometimes he has 1. I don't know why. Maybe it has to do with how well you're doing, or it's random or something. So he's going to cast a buff, and he's going to hit me with this little guy. So let's get literally any amount... Oh, God. Oh, God. Let's start with the... Let's do the scythe first. These both want D4s. I didn't draw any. That's how it goes. Oh, I wish I had that clover. I could finish off this black stag. This is fine. I'm not rolling any D4s. This only rolls odd numbers. So I could get a 1, 3, or 5, and then a 7 or 9 would break. 7 would be good, though. Yeah, seems good. We can kill this hound off, so now we just gotta deal with this guy. This guy is gonna make my life hell, though. He can even put curses on your weapons, which is... Hey, hey, hey! Oh, no! The debuff stacked from the Oh! I didn't know! Oh, I'm so sorry, everybody. I didn't know. The debuff from that guy carried over to the next fight. I had bones in my inventory. No! No! Oh, God. Okay. All right. Great run. So I've unlocked some new stuff. I've unlocked a bone die. This is a D20. I've unlocked a crystal ball. Predict 3 random dice rolls in your tray. Ooh. And then crystal die predicts the roll of a random die in your tray, but it's as a... Oh, cool. Yeah, such cool stuff. So, Die for the Lich is still in development. Wishlisting on Steam would help, etc. Very, very cool. So you can see it go into the collection, and I have unlocked more dice that can show up. I have no idea what makes them show up or not show up. Like, I've never seen an ember die. I've never seen a crystal die. My first run, I had multiple leather dice, and I've never seen one since. It's I don't know. Trinkets. We've unlocked the crystal ball. Very cool. Yeah, even this basic one is very useful, but this one would be incredible. I've never seen this thing. Yeah, so there's more stuff. I hope there'll be even more, because I really feel like this game has some really, like I said, no pun intended, this game has some great bones. And so really, you know, bravo to the developer. And this demo, I've had 0 bugs, personally, 0 bugs, no performance issues. It's been really fun to play. So look out for this game on, I think it was July 22nd, which is just in about a week from now, a little less than then. So be on the lookout for this game. If it's something that intrigues you, it's certainly something to watch. I think this could be a really, really good game. So thanks everybody so much for watching. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. Check the link below for my Patreon if you want to support the channel. And I will see everybody in my next episode.